I remember that day almost like it was yesterday. I'll never, ever forget. That was the worst day of my life, or our lives.
2 years ago, February 11th, 2011, it was a Friday morning, and my sister was on her way to work. She reversed it on the driveway to leave, and I guess Nick had been waiting for her to leave that morning. So he blocks her in, he rear-ended her. He had gotten out of his car, walked up to hers. Supposing he, told her to get out of the car, and then when she did, he pulled the gun on her, and then he pulled the gun on himself. So from that moment, I got up because I heard my aunt screaming. As soon as I walked out the door, I looked to my left, which was where the driveway was, and that's where I saw the scene, and Nick was no longer alive at that point. And I went up to my sister. She had fallen down to the ground, and what it appeared to be was, it was like almost if she was crouched, kind of like huddled, kind of like with her hands in her head. And I knelt down next to her, and I felt her and made sure that she was still breathing, which she was. I remember trying to comfort her as much as I could. And then finally the ambulance got there, and that's when they took me from the scene. And it was basically a waiting game from there.
I just was praying, and just, everyone was calling, my family, her friends, and they were all reassuring me. I just wanted to know, and I just needed to know.
For after maybe an hour or so, they finally came up to me, and he just kind of looked at me and crossed his arms. I remember him crossing his arms and staring at me like, "I'm sorry. I hate to tell you this way, but I'm sorry, your sister didn't make it. Your sister didn't make it."
I think I turned away and tried to run because and covered my ears. I just didn't want to hear those words. From then, I just remember just being literally collapsing. I think I just was on the floor. I just could not believe it, that my daughter, my baby was gone. That was just any parent's nightmare, to lose a child in any way, but to lose her in that way is just unthinkable. You just never ever think that something so horrible is going to happen to your child. It's still hard to believe that she's gone. I miss her. We miss her. Our lives are not the same, and will never be the same. It's a horrible tragedy, but we, through the help of her friends and her family, we were able to turn this into something. And that's where the Kristine Meza Foundation came about.
Hi, my name is Anastasia Isaac Salazar, president of the Kristine Meza Foundation. Kristine was one of my best friends. The Kristine Meza Foundation is a nonprofit organization based in San Antonio, Texas. Our goal is to raise awareness on the issue and impact of domestic violence. We host an annual 5K in honor of victims, survivors, and those who have lost their lives. Proceeds from the 5K will fund a scholarship set up in Kristine's name at the Alamo Colleges. We're asking you, the community, to get involved by standing with us as we stand up against domestic violence.